Hamamatsu. 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 Oh. Hamamatsu. Hamamatsu. Hey, that's the location where this particular episode of the guitar was manufactured in Japan in the early 70s, late 60s. And that's what I'm going to tell you. This is actually a Kawai H811. 12-string instrument. Missing the floating bridge, missing the trapeze tailpiece. Those two pieces happen to be very hard to find, so we're going to have to improvise. We're going to have to fiddle-diddle around a little bit to get it right. Right? I've got a couple ideas of what we can do. Maybe one of them work. Right? So that's what our goal is today together. I'll tell you how I acquired it real quick. I like to be real quick, right? Quick about things. So wandering around the flea market, sometimes known as a swap meet. Then I went on for, a couple of minutes, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of slow that day because I didn't really have the jump in my step. Usually I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? But that was just sort of like, as a military guy was like this to me. I was like, oh, just because I got a green shirt doesn't mean I'm, I'm down with you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm independent. Yeah. So this guy usually sells like bicycle parts. Like, always has bicycle parts. And he had it on his table. I was like, Wanted $20 for it. And I was like, well, it's missing this, it's missing that, it's got the binding's all broken here, and I pointed all the things wrong to it, you know what I mean? He's like, I was gonna make it like a big birdhouse out of it. Wouldn't that be cool? I was like, yeah, man. We make like multi-level birdhouse out of it, man. Like take the back off, you know what I mean? Or put like plexiglass on the back so you can see like the birds fucking around in there. This guy, like, what's wrong with him, man? Yeah, man. You should make a birdhouse out of it. Yeah, maybe I can make a guitar out of it, He's like, you know what? I'll make a deal with you, bro. You make a birdhouse out of it, I'll give it to you for $15. And I was like, birdhouse. So how about you give it to me for $15? And who gives a fuck what I do with it? He's like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? I gave him $20 bill, he gave me $5 back. And I walked around my birdhouse around, you know what I mean? The whole swap be like, my birdhouse, man. You like that birdhouse, man? So we've featured a whole bunch of Kawai instruments in the past. Usually they're electric. I don't know if we've actually featured an acoustic Kawai instrument, but it's a nice one. If we can get it up and running, it looks like, it's the hardest thing to find with these is usually the truss rod covers are usually gone, and they're kind of expensive. They're $30 for one of these white plastic truss rod covers from Kawai. And, you know what I mean? Other than that, this is going to be hard to find. We'll have to, like I said, do some improvisations. It's not in the greatest condition. It's got a lot of, like, checking on it, and cracks and stuff. But as far as, like, structurally, like, you know what I mean? Wood-wise, it doesn't seem like it's that worse for wear, man. It looks like we're going to get off. You know what I'm saying? We're lightly with this guy, right? So I'm going to flip you around. We're going to look at it together. We're going to work on it together. We're hopefully get it, playing again. And I'm going to stare at my little 12-string at the end of the episode. Or maybe at the end of the episode, I'll be like, man, I can't believe I had to convert this into a 6-string because I couldn't find any other parts. But let's play together. And then at the end, I'm going to be Hamamatsu again. And I'm going to turn off the camera. And we're going to go our separate ways. Right? So I'm going to flip you around. And there it is, people. The 200th extravaganza. I didn't say nothing during the intro there because I was trying to remember the name Hamamatsu. But it is what it is, man. It comes out to the 200th episode, and I'm glad it is because there's a certain component to this episode we're about to present to you which is magical. It's got all the correct pieces. It's got the correct looks. It's just a unique sort of example. It's got that old Japan stamp. See that upside down Japan, man. That's ugly, man. That's held together with 1,000% snot. It's not very good, man. It's actually pretty sturdy. It's just extremely ugly, man. Ugly. It's a terrible strap. It's sort of curved like Forrest Gump's spine. I hope it isn't so twisted that it's not going to be able to string up and play, man. This is very nice looking. So we got to improvise. As you know, you guys have been with me a long time. Remember on the 15th episode, I demonstrated, time travel is possible. So for our 200th episode, I'm going to return to that, topic for a special magical, part of acquiring a component to make this guitar great again together, right? Just for our 200th episode. Now, that being said, there's some oddities about this instrument that are not present with most of the ones that are labeled Kawai and that are from like the 60s heyday. That's because this one, I believe, was manufactured for the Philippine or Singaporean market, which really dealt with Kawai a lot longer. It was Kawai with a U, actually. But I found an ad from, one of their online sort of Craigslists selling one of these that didn't have the label and it didn't have the headstock thing. But we're going to restore it the way we want. We want a label. We want the headstock thing. This just has a real small pick guard and only one ring, and the other ones had like 2 or 3 rings. It's just like been stripped down, but it's certainly made by Kawai. It's got all the hallmarks. That's correct. I mean, this says Kawai. Screaming out the Arsman. So, let me bring you to the learning laboratory before we get all excited. Before we, start shooting people. Because you guys might be like, hey, man, it gets a little crazy for featuring this pretty pathetic episode on such a momentous occasion as 200 million episodes on the old intro net. You know what I'm saying? That's where the time travel comes into play, man. It's going to be a magical interlude, and we're going to enjoy it together. But first, I want to get you guys all learned up, man. I don't like dealing with ignorant people, man. I'll take you to the learning laboratory. This has got some fucked up things, man. Look at these tuners, man. Look at that one. Hey, man, I busted Tony's eye, man. We got to be real careful when we restore this, man. We don't want to wreck the buffet at the Harold Club this morning, man. So let's go to the learning laboratory. I want you to see some pictures because it's kind of a rare bird. I want you to see what I mean by this is like a real small pick guard and the, binding inlay and stuff of like the earlier ones that was a little more fancy. A little bit more fancy, Noriega. I'm a little confused by the lights and the cameras. Doesn't make me very, very, very squeezy in the stomach, though. Like I think of broccoli. Welcome back to the learning laboratory. We're gonna lean on each other to learn. So the first thing I really did in this little journey here and figuring out what the fuck was this guitar was I tracked down this wonderful little truss rod with a photo search, man. This plastic truss rod. You see that? And that's indigenous to a Kawai instrument, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Hawaii, but with a K, man. And fuck the extra I. Leave off the last I for savings. You know what I'm saying, man? Save on, man. Now, the first listing I found with this particular sort of look was this, man. This particular listing had nothing on the headstock. You know what I'm saying? Didn't really know exactly what was happening because there was no label inside of it. It was listed as a Kawai, right? And this is listed in like, I believe it was like originally the seller was from in like Indonesia, but he was like some kind of Native American Christian trading site from California or something crazy like that. That's where this guitar is listed. But the brand is Kawai with a U, man. I don't know if that's a misspelling. You know what I'm saying? Don't know. But I was like, this is the instrument. You know what I mean? It's got all the hallmarks. It's rocking and rolling, man. Rock and roll. So I kept looking deeper, man, because it was just too close. Too close to boast, man. I know all the things I'm missing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm missing this. I'm missing this. You know what I'm saying? I can easily, you know what I'm saying, figure something out. Then I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? This is our 200th extravaganza. Let's do something different instead of mocking some fake shit up. Let's do something we've never done before, man. Because I could easily mock something up that looks like this. I'll just take it off another guitar. I don't want to pay any kind of money. I got a whole bunch of these 12 strings sitting around. I found another one I have, actually, sitting right in one of my piles of stacks. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's got a neck that's curved like Forrest Gump's spine. When it's a 12-string neck, it's fucked, man. It's fucked. So although it has all of its appointments, it's a piece of shit, unplayable. So we're going to take, you know what I'm saying, this one birdhouse and give it to another birdhouse. You know what I'm saying? Birdhouse communal fucking sharing program. It's just the way I'm feeling in this 200th anniversary season, man. Let's keep on moving on up, man. I don't want to keep wasting your time with my little tales of bullshit, man. So then I found this listing. This listing was nice. Because almost were able to sort of, there's only a couple things left to do now that I've decided to cannibalize the other guitar, right? And, you know what I mean? Look at that. See that? In the background? This crate, GX10 or whatever it was. That was my first guitar amp, man. I think we featured it like last year or the year before during Amp Month, man. 2 years ago, maybe. Some shit like that. But this had a good sort of clear photo of that Kawai on the headstock, man. You see that, man? I can't really. This computer's a little jack doodled up, man. I can't sort of zoom in where I want to zoom in, which kind of bothers me. It kind of offends me. I'm offended by that. But you can see what I'm saying. It's nice and clear looking. But it wasn't clear enough. I was like, maybe I can find a better one. You know what I'm saying? I still want to find a label, too. When I saw this listing, I was like, this looks like a guitar they got at Goodwill and they put it up on Reverb. You know, somebody bought it who knew what they were doing. It sells people, you know what I mean, that really know what they're doing. It's missing, of course, the bridge. Which kind of sucks, man. You know what I'm saying? It kind of stinks. With this one, right? We have a little clearer picture of that Kawai insignia, man. So between this one and the other one, we got something perfect going on. What about the label action, though, man? The label kind of looks good, right? Kind of looks good. Here's the actual photograph downloaded from old Reverb, man. Shh, right? It looks good. However, we're missing this shit over here, man. You can't roll without half a fucking label, man. So we had to keep on searching and searching, man. Because this is going to be our time travel. Extravaganza. So, it is beautiful, though, isn't it? This one right here, we found it, man. We found what we needed. This last listing. I'm just going to go outside, marry me, and I'll risk my bones a little bit, right? And I'll show you my backside and all kinds of bullshit pictures. And this one had it, man. Yes. Full label. We could bring this guy into Photoshop and we can AI him. We can make him all special, man. We can reproduce our label, man. That's later on in the episode. You'll be like, wow, man. Motherfuckers like Marty McFly, bro. There we go. That's what we got to say, man. I see you in the real laboratory. In 1, in 2, in 3. Welcome back to the regular laboratory. So here it is, man. It's got a nice strap, actually. It's too bad it's all fucking mildewed and molded up, man. We could probably get rid of that. I don't like these kind of straps. This is the kind of strap I got for my first Hofner bass when I was younger. It kind of reminded me McCartney had a strap very similar back in the days of Eld, man. But it is all superficially cracked all over the fucking place. And a lot of these are just that. I mean, they're just cracks in the finish. They're not really affecting anything other than the look of it. The big ugly crack is like right here. Right here. I should say bash. I mean, that's more than a crack. It's a fucking bash, man. I'm going to take a baseball bat to 12 string here in the laboratory. I mean, this guitar is not really worth too much money. It's got some nice herringbone binding here. But, I mean, this is probably just best suited just to sort of be stabilized. Pump some glue in there to stop it from being all cracked up. I mean, we're not going to really go to, crazy lengths to repair that because it's sort of a very difficult repair, and it's not really worth it on a guitar like this. That's going to be played once and forgotten about by the old Guitkit. Look at this, though. You see that? See that brace in there, man? It's all cracked the fuck up. So we're going to try to pump some glue inside there on that. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that. That's kind of a difficult place to put it. We'll figure some shit out. Because it's got to be sort of pushed down, too, because it's all fucked up. And that will affect when we play it. It'll probably buzz around, and it's not the kind of sound you want to hear with a nice 12-string, right? It's not the kind of sound you want to hear with a birdhouse 12-string either. So let's pump some glue in here. Let's pump some glue on this somehow. Figure that shit out, right? Because that's your fucking job, Guitkit. You got to earn your keep with your viewers. Take off the strap. Try to rehabilitate him. for the next fucking go around. For the next half in the bass, right? So I'll see after we've been glued. And two, three. We got our glue on. You know what I mean? We got her glued up, man. We got it glued down. We just pulled a whole bunch of glue over those two combat areas. Let it seep down into the wood, into the weathered areas, right? We took our little douche ball to get it even further in there. Suction cup. This is an old pop socket from Claire's, like 6-7 years ago. I was there with my daughters. Buy 16 items, get 16 items free. On that occasion, was get 15 items free. It's all dollar sound. Right? Then we cleaned up the area with a little rag. Looking good like it should. As for in here, I wonder what happened to the hole, William. See that? We got it all clamped up, closed down. That crack was pretty big toward the end there. Got that clamp off AliExpress. This is so tall, though, man. I've never been able to sort of fully get a brace-to-brace clamp on. I mean, this is probably the, you know what I mean, pretty most maximum thickness you'll see on a fucking guitar. You know, I still had to take it off just to get it in there. Cleaned up the wood, you know, glue areas around that brace with the carpet brush. We don't want to get any glue on there, man. We want to make that pretty lighter. Don't want nobody to see our little reparations, right? So we're going to let this guy set out, man, and just dry up, man. You dry it out a little bit, and then we'll talk to Congress. Let's talk about this on the headstock, man. This little area here. Let me turn off the light for a second. You see that area there? I want you to see it good. Well, maybe you can't see, but that's my bad, you know what I mean? I don't have a great phone on there. You can see a little bit better. There's all kinds of glue residue right here in the middle, which means the sticker was removed, man. So let's make a nice Kawai sticker. In the learning laboratory, we shall go. All right, so let's work on that logo sticker while the glue dries on the instrument, right? Here's the image that we got off the internet that we're going to use as the basis for the basic design of the logo, right? So we brought it in old Photoshop, put it into a grayscale, darkened it up a little bit, right? Cropped it out, kept working on the curves, the levels, got it like real, like, you know what I'm saying? Dark. Flipped it around with an inversion, right? We inverted it, right? And then we darkened that up even further. And then we cleaned up everything around it so it was just a nice, you know, clear shot of the logo itself. We sort of cropped it out. Brought it through an AI program online. You know what I'm saying? We want to get nice and clean for the people, right? And AI is our whole idea of this 200th extravaganza, right? Then we cropped it even further. Did a couple more little cleanups on it. Printed it out with the laser jet, right? 3 different settings of different contrasts and brightness. I think that this one is the best one right around here. At least 2 or 3. We'll take a better look at that, you know, put it away, save it for later. I'll see you once the guitar is totally dried and glued, right? 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're all dried out now, pard. We're all dried out. Nice solid. Good looking cooking. So we're gonna fish this guy out. Right? Hey man, get out of here, man. And when we're done fishing him out, we're gonna this glue off, man. So actually peel it off my finger, some of it, but some of it's like stuck. You have a bunch of these guys. Let's break it down to grade. It's a very solid seal. You know what I mean? It's on there nice and good. But the guy did not, you know what I mean? Could have just wiped over the rag, bruh. So I'll see when this is all nice and darn. You know, after the fact, 40 years later. Look at that. Perfectly smooth. A lot of white. Shit all over the place. A couple different razor blades and different kinds of chipping devices, right? Well, we've accomplished what we're looking for. Can't see any of that spill out. See the line. Most guitars like this, you can see the line. You can't really see any repair. So that's a great thing, right? Wonderful thing. So look at this, man. So badly this is all bent the fuck out. This one, too, is kind of bent. You know, you wiggle it around. It's sort of, you know what I'm saying, like elliptical. But this guy is just, you know what I mean? Not fucking feeling the fucking party, man. He's on fucking antidepressants. He's crying in the bushes with a fucking Michelob, man. Got these old fucking medieval dentist tools, man. Hey, all right, sailor. You know what I mean? This guy's got a big fucking loop. Definitely big enough for this fucking thing. So we'll do that off camera. Because you know what I'm saying? It's like filming myself jerking off. I can't get into it. See in a minute. There it is. Totally straightened out for both of them. That's a very sort of tedious sort of, you know what I'm saying? Nerve-wracking things. You don't want to break the stems of these. That's going to be like, each one of these I think is like a $30 piece on the internet, man. We don't want to mess with that, man. Specialized, man. Use both of them. This one to get like the main shaping, and this one sort of to get the fine fucking tuning, man. Yes. So, that being accomplished, man, this fucking thing is filthy dirty, man. Filthy dirty, in addition to, you know what I'm saying, fucked up looking. You know what I'm saying? But there's lots of this. Hey, man, I banged into the wall, man, when I was taking that GMB, man. You know what I'm saying? Over here. Over there. And everywhere. Right? So we're going to try to remove all that fucking removable stuff, man. What's that, man? Hey. I was with that. No, I can't tell you about that, man. Statute of limitations, bro. So, I'm going to take this guy to pretty much everywhere. Right? And when we see some of that paint shit, we're going to take this guy, the white part, and right here. We're just going to remove all that paintred. That paintred tainted your soul, right? I'll see after we've been all cleanlified. Right? Much, much cleaner. Much cleaner. A little sheeny shiny, too, you know. Most of that stray paint is gone. The instrument, it's looking good, toots. Now here you can see more clearly the remnants from that glue from the original logo that was on there. I can't get it off with a razor blade because it looks like whatever glue sort of sealed with that wet lacquer. So we're going to take a little bit of steel William, right? We're just going to get him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to polish him out, man. I'm going back and forth, man. We're also going to polish right around here, too. Right? This is 13.697 kielbasa grease, but it's an extract. You know what I'm saying? This is live resin in here, man. Ready? Ready. Man, let's try to get this out, man. Out. Right? That's a nice hue you got there. We did polishing, and we actually started with rubbing, man. We rubbed it out, then we polished it, man. We didn't get the same sort of respect from the headstock, man. That highly toxic glue from the 70s, man, just fucking ate away at that finish. You know, we couldn't really shine it up, man. Unfortunately. Well, it's time, though, man. We're gonna have to talk about it right now. You know what I'm saying? I think you have a problem. I think you're an addict, right? This, you know what I mean, mess is gonna be absorbed mostly by the decal. What decal? Yes, you remember this from earlier. Around here, I think, is the best one of these two. This is like iron-on paper. And we're just going to put it over this. We'll get out the iron. And we're just going to get this white stuck to it and then pull off the backing so we have a white decal. It's hard to make white, right? We're going to do it, man. We're going to do it together. I'll show you after we've ironed a little piece of this on, man. Special craft. Holographic transfer sheet. Right? Alright, so that white transfer film, not opaque. Not opaque. Actually put it on 2 times. On this one, and 1 time on this one. It didn't really make too much of a difference. Otherwise, it transferred. I got a silver roll. Well, it looks like the same company. It's just like over transferred. No matter how little heat I gave it with the iron, it was not a clear transfer, and that kind of pissed me off because I kind of wanted silver. If that didn't work, I had like a multi-pack of these sort of like iridescent colors, very 70s. That one worked like a charm. Iridescent silver, that's beautiful. So this one we're going to use. How do we do this, you may ask? There's all kinds of tape, right? This is probably the thickest tape that you can use and get away with. This is Scotch, like the good stuff for storage. So you're storing stuff of your own. This is Scotch carton sealing tape, which is basically a step below that. So it's got that 3M adhesive, which is very, very strong. It always sort of like gets the paper also. So the best thing to really get is like the cheap stuff, man. This is from Dollar Tree, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is just regular old packing tape. Nice and thin. I used to have stuff that was even thinner than this, but I don't know what happened to it, man. I think it's all got used up, man. Right? You've done us well, Mr. Iron. About to touch it like, ah! Right? I'll see you after we've been taped up, and I'll explain the rest of the process. Alright, so we got this guy covered with the tape, right? Let's take a nice pair of strong, sharp scissors and just cut sort of a rectangular shape out of this motherfucker. Because it kind of looked like it was a rectangular sticker to begin with, right? And that's sort of going along with the gist. See you in a moment. And there we go. Cut to the bone, man. These T12 bulbs above me are humming like an air conditioner in fucking July, bro. August. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of distracting me. So we got 2 cups of like warm water here, man. Hot as we can get out of the tap. It's been a couple minutes since we got out of the tap. We're going to put this guy in here. And we're just going to let him sink to the bottom. He's going to curl up. Let's take our thumbnail. We're just going to a long thumbnail just for this purpose. You know what I mean? I didn't cut my nails on purpose. I knew I would be doing this. Right? So I'm just going to get all that shit off of there. Right? And it's going to look pretty clear, but it's still going to have some shit on it. And we're going to put it into the drink, man. It's another one just like this. We're going to do that all over again. Because once you start getting most of this paper off, there's lots of paper in there. It's hard to like see what the fuck's going on. So the secondary bath's usually where it's at, right? And then I'm just going to transfer it directly on the guitar. Put a mirror saw on that. Sort of get all the bubbles out. And that's the point we'll meet back up, you and me. Oh, man. Oh, my wet man. Mm-hmm. So we're in the secondary drink right now. I think we're done. It looks pretty fucking good. Right? You all that fucking scum in here, man. Hey, man. I was eating paper, man. Been holding it up against a piece of black pickguard. Make sure it's like clear, you know, the black shows all the white. It's just the way it is, man. So it is about the same exact size as this little glue stain, man. I was talking about Mirasol before. This is the Tester brand of decal set. Pretty much the same thing as Mirasol. Just put like one or two little brush strokes in there. Put that on there. It'll blend in with the adhesive on the tape. Sort of get rid of all the air bubbles in there. It's magic, man. Right? I'll see when we're all connected, man. There it is, man. Still wet, so I mean, it's still a little bit cloudy. It might be cloudy forever, man. You know what I'm saying? Will you some kind of tough guy? Okay. So we've accomplished one of our goals. Let's talk about this hole, mama. Look at this hole down here that I got below my useless TT, but right above William Quizzer. Okay. What's here? Welcome, that's blank, mama. I seen some boys got labels in their hole. My hole's empty. Okay. So this is gonna be a specialty, man. So let's go to the learning laboratory and talk about what's missing inside the hole, the void within us all. All right, folks. So this is the springboard for introducing our special 200th anniversary extravaganza time travel bonanza. All right, it's a springboard. Here's the original image that we got off the internet that we're going to use as a basis for our label, right? Just like we did for our logo. We brought it into the old Photoshop. We made it into a grayscale, and then we sort of, distorted and brought it back into the correct shape because it was all, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take a look at the previous images, all jack kneed out, man, and now it's like straight. It's like I took this label to the orthodontist, man. And then we sort of cropped it out. Hey, man, when do you want us to look to your crooked ass shit, you know? We worked on it for many days and many nights, about 45 minutes. Good as we could in the old Photoshop. We got rid of the model number because we're actually using a real stamp on that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Give it extra extraordinary valor. I just didn't have an H that looked like this in this font. You know what I'm saying? But I did have, numbers that were that same font, right? Yeah, I'm a special guy, man. I collect that kind of stuff, right? And then we brought it into the old AI world, man. Cleaned it up even further, right? That's what we like to do. We like to, you know what I mean, show off our extraordinary bonanza. And then, you know what I'm saying? We worked on it even further in Photoshop because that's what we like to do, man. That's what we like to do. We brought it out. It's the printer. And we printed out some prototypes, man. A couple different kinds of papers and stuff, man. I just can't find, a piece of paper I can print this on to make it look like it should, according to all the pictures that we have on the intro nets. The paper that it looks like it's printed on reminds me of this paper that we used to have in grammar school. I think that it was officially called newsprint. We used to call it like scrap paper or scratch paper. And the last time I remember seeing it and know exactly where I could get, a steady supply of it was in my 4th grade classroom. That was exactly 40 years ago. Good old 1985, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I got the time travel truck. We're going to do it up together. I'll see you tomorrow. You know what I mean? Right when the time is right. All right? Ready? It's exactly 3 p.m. Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Right? Now, 40 years ago, daylight savings time started at the end of April. So, exactly 40 years ago, it'd be like 4 p.m. Right? 4 p.m. is a Monday. Now, back in those days, the schools were open like 5 o'clock. They were unlocked till like 9 o'clock when the night janitor left. There's 2 guys in emergencies come in from school's out at 3 o'clock, smoke some cigarettes down in the boiler room. Around about 5 o'clock, they closed up the computer room, and the gym. There's all kinds of rooms that kids could use, Back then, I'm saying, things were like they weren't all locked up real tight. People sort of like trusted, you know what I mean? People go inside schools, the public wasn't like a pariah. And basically, the teachers at the end of the day would leave their lights on, and as they would work their way up, you know, from the new wing all the way to the old wing upstairs, they would, you know, turn the lights off after they clean the room and lock the door. So you could sneak in there if the light was still on in your room, if you were missing your homework, you know what I mean, just run up to your room and get it. But if the light was off in your room, you were pretty much shit out of luck. If you lost your homework, right? Just tips. If you know what I mean, can time travel yourself 40 years ago and want to fix your homework in that 30-second period. Now, I'll get to that, right? My fourth grade teacher was dynamite. She was like not well liked by other teachers, other students, anybody. She's old school. I loved her though. Right? She's real strict. She had this game called the circle game. That, you know what I mean. Every day there was a big circle on the left-hand side of the board, and like the date and a circle on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side of the board were all the daily assignments. There's a big old chalkboard. We don't have them in schools anymore. No more chalkboards, right? Anyway, I became circle captain many, many, many times, man. Many times because I was a teacher's pet. And when she got sick toward the end of the school year, fourth grade, you know what I mean, she wrote in the plan, she's like, just let Bobby G be the circle captain, man. I'd be writing people's names on there. I see people talking in the hallway. I was like, oh, you know what I mean, being rude to somebody, writing a name. Hey, man, that was my thing, man. People hated me. Fourth grade teacher loved me. Now, she had a little cabinet next to like the chalkboard in the front. It was like a metal sort of like bookshelf, I think. And the first couple shelves were all kinds of booklets about New Jersey, and there was maps of New Jersey that she had over there, I think. And you know what I'm saying? She used to like put her like cheese balls on top of things. She used to eat these cheese balls, I think the Utz or whatever, the ones in the Planters cheese balls. That's what it was. First time I ever seen cheese. I was big into cheese doodles. I never saw a cheese ball before. And she didn't eat no lunch or nothing. She didn't smoke cigarettes, so she didn't hang out in the teacher's room. She was like sitting in her room eating these little cheese doodles. She had them up there, you know what I mean, on top of the shelf. And I'm kind of getting teary-eyed. She was a wonderful person. On the bottom shelves, there was all kinds of paper. Every kind of paper you can imagine in a fourth grade classroom. Handwriting paper, lined paper, notebook paper, a whole stack of scratch paper. And an old Bobby G, he was a teacher's pet, so he went to the closet and he was like, you know, open the package, like, oh, we're getting a little bit low here. I know that there was always a good supply of scratch paper there for the whole fourth grade year, because I was the one who kept up and running, you know, I mean, I was a man, you know what I'm saying? So I know that if I could time travel exactly 40 years ago, right this minute, I could obtain that paper without, you know, any kind of issue. Now, before I could quantum leap myself 20 years ago, 5 years ago, I showed you guys how to do that. This is more like beaming myself through a time like loop, a little wormhole in the time-space continuum, right? Using AI and just sort of beaming myself in there like they do in Star Trek. And I can do for exactly 30 seconds. I go back in that room, so I grab some paper. Whatever I have on me will come with me, and we'll come back 30 seconds automatically. All I got to do is turn on my supercomputer, right? Get it working. I had to drink some of this plutonium that I got off AliExpress. I already checked it with the guy here at Canada. We're looking all right, man. We're looking straight. So let me turn on the supercomputer, because I know that time is patient and precious, and patience is time as well. We look like we're getting good. We're getting ready, man. We're getting ready to go. I want to actually film myself, you know what I mean, as I arrive, man. You know what I'm saying? About 20 seconds from now, I'll be back in 1985. Right? Just close my eyes, visualize the chalkboard, visualize the cabinets. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close my eyes, visualize the chalkboard, visualize the cabinets. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Monday, March 18th, 1985. Look at this, folks. Not an anachronism to be found. Nothing. There it is. The circle game, just as I said. Cheeseballs, McCrory's. That's been gone for 30 years. There they are, fresh as a daisy. Old discs, 1980 copyright. That shit out. Old grade book, 1984 Scholastic News. Here we go, all the New Jersey stuff. There's the paper. I'm gonna take some of this, and I'm gonna take those cheese balls. Whoa. Whoa. That re-entry's crazy, man. Whew. So that gives me like a... Hey, put this down for a second. Stop on that. Oh, lose that video, right? I got the cheese balls off top of my paper. My hands feel like they're frozen, kind of. It's weird. I got the paper. Drop some on the floor. A little bit. See how great that is? How perfect that is? Look at that, man. Still got plenty of time to go upstairs and print it out on the label, right? And we could probably get this episode done by our 12 p.m. midnight Wednesday deadline, right? Let's go print it out now. Yes, my friends. Yes. There it is, man. Look how nice and perfect and gray that paper is, man. Like gray triple Z, you know what I mean? Only finest for Americans, right? So perfect. It's exactly what I wanted, man. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what I would waste my 30 seconds of time travel for you. So what are we doing right now? We're experimenting with this guy. Yes, this is the hero from last month with our Explorer. This is because of the serial number guy. Same exact stamp thing. We're trying to get a perfect 811 on there, man. That one was the first one, man. The 8 didn't really. But you see how it's so perfect, man? Look at that. H was printed with a laser, printer, and the 811 was a stamp, man. So we got a whole bunch of them to mess around with on this beautiful paper. Let's do it, man. Find the best one. We'll cut it out. Let's see if that print. 1, 2, 3. There we go, man. Looks nice, man. Looks good, man. And even more, as a kind of throwback idea, we got the old schoolhouse paper cutter here. We got some exact cuts, man. Correct cuts, man. From our old paper cutter. So, we got an old-fashioned Elmer's paste stick here, man. We're going to flip this guy around, apply this guy evenly. It gives us a lot of play time inside the instrument, right? I got one of those little rollers, too, see if I can get that in there. I'll just get it perfectly placed and put down. Don't want to put down old Bessie, but she ain't giving milk like she used to. Not like she used to. Not like she used to. Dun, 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 dun. Good, man. It's right where it should be. Use this guy. You know what I'm saying? Copious amounts of this guy. Actually, I had to pull it up like twice. You know what I mean? To replace it because I was like, oh, it's not quite right. Oh, now it's quite crooked. You know what I mean? I wasn't saying like that. Trust me. I'm like, motherfucker, fucker. Right? But after saying that a couple times, I was like, that's not very civilized, man. I found it correctly. Easy access with this thing. Just push it all the glue like to the corners and make sure those corners are down nice and cornery, man. Hey, don't be so cornery. Corny ass motherfucker. So we got this now, man. This is sort of dry and ashy, man. Not looking like it should really, but it doesn't seem to me to be in any need of like a fret job. It seems like the frets are okay. It looks like there was a fret job on it pretty recently, actually. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really want to keep on grilling down these frets. That's 12 string anyway. So we're going to take some steel William, right? We're going to put some mineral Earl on there, man. Usp Earl and steel William. We're going to grease it up, grease stuff, man. Grease you up, motherfucker. Grease it up. Huh? There it is, man. I'll come to you when it's been Williamed out. Come on. Come on. Kawai. Kawai. Straight to Kawai. It's like the needle and the damage done, man. Nice and crazy. Yeah, that's beautiful. You don't really know the quality of the rosewood you're dealing with until you grease it up. You know what I'm saying? I was so grateful last month with that Explorer project. You know what I'm saying? I got that real light looking ashy fucking fretboard from a, you know what I'm saying, indescript source on the dark web. You know what I mean? Once I greased that bitch up, though, it was like fucking golden butter, bro. It was beautiful. It was like, oh, like a real fucking Gibson board. It was so beautiful. Anyway, we'll let this set in for, I don't know, 45 minutes. Just sort of ate it up real quick. And I had to kind of double bubble grease it some places, you know what I'm saying? I'll see you in a certain pernt that does not right this moment. Oh, look at that, man. In an hour's time, mostly all that grease is pretty much seeped in. Just like 3 or 4 frets that still are of a greasy nature. Let's wipe it off. And then we're going to reconvene our convenience. Yes, look at that bittersweet chocolate. Gorgeous rosewood. Nice, man. Look at all that slag we got off. Yeah, man, I was fingering the backside, man. It wasn't the front. That's why my fingers are all brown, man. Right? All that fucking grime from Grime Time. Griming Time Station. So we got some waxes here. We're going to use this Min Wax on the fretboard. Right? Only on the fretboard. We're going to use this beautiful Brazilian Carnauba wax, man. Cleaner wax on everything else, man. On this, right? On this, on the back, on the sides, on the back. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we can possibly sheen up the Scheinberg, right? I'll see you at that pernt. Hey, man. I just wanted to print it out to you. Yes. Now we're nice and shiny. Look at this, man. Look at that glossy glint. Look at that glossy glint on that guitar. I put a piece of tape on here because I didn't want the bridge piece to be slipping and sliding all over the fucking place. See that? That's still dull right there. That's good, man. That's what I wanted, man. I achieved my goal. Oh, nice everywhere else. So let's talk about our unwilling donor, man. I pried these guys off that guitar I was telling you about. First time ever for our 200th time travel extravaganza that I ever fucking salvaged the guitar for another guitar's life, really. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no life left in that guitar. The neck is a shot. Even though the body and the condition of the instrument is really good, there's no real gashes or dings or dents or anything like that. It's just, you know what I'm saying, unplayable, really. Did not want to come. I had to score 2 of the screws just to get them out of the, you know, fucking instrument. I have some new screws right here, right? Has a full set of strings, probably from the 70s. 2 of the B strings didn't come. These are the dark hole strings, man. You can tell by the ends of them. The Diario, man. It's my boy, bro. I've actually done business with the Dario, man, whatever the fuck his name is. Mr. Dunlap, whatever. Let's string it up. I'll see you at the fucking Glam Shots, man. I'm so proud that we were able to not only time travel, but get this fucking thing finished in time for our Wednesday deadline. See Glam Shots. Woo-hoo. This is not really a bad instrument, man. Not really a bad instrument. I mean, most of these 70s Japanese 12 strings are garbage. The wood is horrible. And, you know, we give it a check on both those prereqs, man. But the action on this guy's butter. You know what I'm saying? Very, very low action. The upside down Empire Japan back there, man. It's really a decent 12 string. Really something I did not expect, man. So I can sit here and, you know, keep talking about it all night long, or I can fucking play it for you. And you can see what I'm talking about. Because time's a wasting, right? 200, right? Now let's hear it. And then we'll say, the 200th time, peace be with you. Look after yourself. Peace be with you. 200 episodes, man. 200. Kawai H811. It's a beautiful instrument. It's worth the sacrifice of the lesser instrument, man. Right? This is beautiful sounding, man. So, I've been thinking about this channel, man. 200 episodes, that's incredible. This channel really, though, when I think about it, is a child of the pandemic. It wasn't until like late 2019 that I started actually posting stuff and getting things ready. And then when I really started pumping them out, it was like, you know, right before the pandemic. And then the pandemic sort of like, you know what I'm saying? I made an episode about every guitar I owned, you know. I had a million, you know, guitars, a million episodes. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed spending time with you, and I appreciate it. One thing, though, that I remember about the pandemic, I always sort of think about when I think about the pandemic is, I remember early on in the pandemic, I sort of got into Neil Sedaka's feed. Neil Sedaka. And it was like a godsend, you know what I mean? Neil Sedaka was like playing little songs, doing little mini concerts, little medleys and things like that. It was hits. And to me, it was like just like a treat, you know, because in a world of shit, it was so just great, you know what I mean? So Neil Sedaka, you know what I mean? Thank you for that during the pandemic. He sort of disappeared, though, out of the feed like 2022, something like that, when things were all right. But just recently, he came back in the feed again, just like he came in the first time, you know? But now he had his grandson with him. His grandson sings like, you know, a young Eddie Vedder. But Neil Sedaka was singing background vocals on it. He sounded like he did 1960s. So it was like, what? And his voice hasn't changed, even though he's 113 and a half years old. 114.2. Time travel time, right? Hey, man. Thank you, Neil Sedaka. Love it down, love it do down, down. Come on, down, love it do down, down. Come on, down, love it do down, down. Breaking up is hard to do. Don't take your love away from me. Don't you leave my heart in misery. We'll be young and we'll be blue. But breaking up is hard to do. They say that breaking up is hard to do. Hey, man. Neil Sedaka, peace be with you, man. All my friends out there, peace be with you. Thank you for like sharing your life with me for the past 200 episodes. Hopefully there'll be more, man. Maybe there won't be, man. Will there be more time travel? That's something I would like to know, man. I'd like to figure it out. Maybe I won't. Maybe later.